Hi there, welcome to Across the Tech Pond, the US and European podcast and webcast, covering the main technology conferences and events, hosted by myself, Anthony Savas, David Marshall, and Neil Hughes. We are all avid technology conference attendees visiting the shows big and small that help set the agenda across the industry. In this regular package, we also cover major news events and trends that feed into the shows we cover. In this show, we have a very special guest, though. We recently covered the IT press tour of New York, where we met a number of different companies in the cloud data management space. One of the leading companies we met was CTERA, which is an established cloud storage company active in the worldwide market. Its two main regions currently are North America and Europe, where its global file system for enterprises and big government agencies is well established. But on the IT press tour of New York, we heard from CTERA executives about new technology areas CTERA is now tackling on behalf of both existing companies and future ones. Before we move forward, let's formally introduce ourselves. David Marshall.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Across the Tech Pond. I'm David Marshall, and I'm coming at you from the US side of the pond in Austin, Texas, and I own and operate VMblog.com.
Neil?
And my name's Neil Hughes. Big warm welcome from me. I'm usually based in the UK. I'm currently in Frankfurt, Germany for a tech conference. I write for Cyber News and also host Tech Talks Daily, which is a daily tech podcast. I also host a network of podcasts as well.
Anthony Savas here. I'm from IT Europa, which is a pan-European channel title, IoT Now, TechLed, which is a communications media portal, and obviously the co-host of Across the Tech Pond. What we're doing here is actually meeting a company which has been around not forever. Plenty of people have heard about it, but not everybody. And that's why we're doing this webcast and podcast to educate people about what they can actually offer the market. So we have a very special guest, and his name is Oded Nagel. Oded, introduce yourself.
Thank you, and I'm very happy to be here. So I'm based in the CTERA headquarters in Tel Aviv. I've been in the company since day one when we established it in 2008, and I'm running the company in the last 3 years. And again, thank you for the opportunity to be here.
I'll go first, Oded, with a question. An obvious one, really. Where does CTERA currently fit into the cloud data management market? What do you actually do?
Thank you for the question, Anthony. So basically, CTERA is leading the transformation of the intelligence data management market. We provide a platform that allows the enterprise to unify the all unstructured data that they have across edge locations and different cloud environments. Our data intelligence platforms offers global file system technology that allows organizations to consolidate all their unstructured data into a single high-performance data fabric that makes their assets fully secure and ready to be used and utilized using AI, analytics, or any other business operation workflows that they have. Our platform is recognized today by GigaOm and other analysts as the leaders in this space, and we provide the best security, the best scalability and performance with a very deep integration into their IT platforms as well.
Thanks again for being here, Oded. My question for you to kind of kick things off: in New York, during the IT press tour, we were told that 95% of generative AI pilots never make it to production. And the reason isn't that the technology, used, but the quality of the data being used. Apparently, organizations are pointing their AI tools at file systems full of duplicate data, outdated versions, and sensitive information that should never be processed in the first place. And then they wonder why they're looking at garbage when trying to make business decisions. We were told by you guys the solution is better data management, but we know this isn't easy. While machine learning models need data, that data resides in silos with different formats, permissions, and quality levels. and data science teams can spend months on cleaning up the process instead of building out the models. CTERA says firms must ride 3 different waves before they can get their data right. I found that extremely interesting during the IT press tour. Can you please explain to our audience listening right now what these waves are?
Yes, definitely. And we've been in the market, as you said before, for quite some time, and we saw the market evolving. So we believe that we saw like 3 waves in the last few years, right? The first wave is what we call the unified data access. It's basically helping organization to gain control globally over all their data that is distributed across on-prem, off-prem, edge locations, people that are working from home. This is really a big mess right now for these enterprises when they want to manage their data. The second wave is how to secure the data itself, right? Once the data is unified, you need the ability not just to access the data, but also control the data from a permissions perspective. You need to know how to protect the data as well, how to create the versions, how to manage the metadata of the files. And that's a big task, especially if you have petabytes of data and billions of files. And that's what we did in the last probably 10 years, right? We built the most scalable global file system in the industry that allows these enterprises to unify their data and secure the data. But now, in the last 2 years, there is another wave, which is the enterprise IT. Once the data is actually unified and secure, organized can unlock its value, right? I mean, one of the main assets of the organization is what they have actually in their data. And that's exactly what CTERA is all about. We are leading the transformation for these enterprises to get into their data and not just access the data, but also understand what is inside the data, how to arrange it in a high quality so AI can really read the data, index the data, and also provide the answers, the correct answers sometimes, right? Because sometimes people think that AI is working like a magic, right? You just ask a question and you get the answer. No, it's not working like that. And that's one of the main problems today, which I think enterprises are getting into, is how to secure the data, but also how to get the value and the data itself. And that's what it's all about, the data intelligence platforms that we provide.
Excellent. I think you had a question, Neil.
Yeah, one of the things that stood out to me in New York from your presentation was the launch of the data intelligence technology as part of these waves that we're talking about here, and of course the Agentic AI solution. So can you tell me a little bit more, and for people watching, of course, a little bit more about what the data intelligence platform is, just for people hearing about it for the first time?
Yes, thank you. And I'm happy to explain. So the CTERA Data Intelligence Solution, I would say, is a very robust platform which helps the organization to, first of all, collect all their data from different locations. One of the main things today that we see is that data can resides, and when I'm talking about data, of course, I'm talking about unstructured data, right? Can be resides in multiple sources. And we allow, first of all, using our technology to retrieve all the data from all these edge locations into a secure data assets solution, which we enable some advanced security elements as well. So we know exactly to understand the permissions on each file and which file should be, or which data or which information inside a file can be exposed to a specific user in the organization. And by doing it automatically in real time, we're really giving the ability to these enterprises to analyze the data that they have and be able to expose the data to their end user, either a user that works from home or analytic platform or any type of consumer that needs access to their data.
Right. Neil, do you want to come back on that?
So I'm curious, when you talk to your potential customers, I would imagine you'd set off a few light bulb moments as they hear about the opportunities and the kind of things that they can do with this and your technology. What kind of questions are they asking you at the moment? And any challenges, concerns, opportunities? What are they coming to you and asking you about?
Yes, that's a very good question. So we see a few challenges today in this space. First of all, almost every enterprise organization in the industry has a strategy to start working with AI, right? This is given, right? But once they start to understand how it actually works, they starting to ask questions about scalability,
Yeah.
cost, performance, and security. Okay, that's the main things that we see today in the market because AI is amazing, right? It's really can improve the productivity of the company. It really can help to create content and provide answers. But once you expose your data, you're also exposed to different type of threats, for example. So how you protect the data, that's one of the main questions that we're seeing today in the industry, and making sure that the permissions on the file system are applied as well on the answers that you get. For example, how you make sure that the data is stored securely, right? Fully encrypted and no one can access it. The second thing, how you move the data from different data assets, I would say, right? Because today data is a mess, right? It's sitting on so many locations. It can be on SharePoint, it can be on OneDrive, it can be on a local NAS. And how you unified everything to a single platform, that's another challenges questions that we're getting a lot. And the third one is about scale and performance and mainly cost as well, because once they start analyzing the data, they started to understand it's not cheap, right?
Yeah.
And they need to do it in a very efficient way. And that's exactly the problem that our platform solves.
Thanks.
Yeah. And from me, Oded, just an additional question related to CTERA data intelligence. Just want a confirmation, really. Was it developed by CTERA, this technology, or are you using some sort of third-party technology to deliver this?
No, so the majority of the technology is fully developed in-house. We have a team of what we call the content services in the engineering team that has been working for the last year and a half, 2 years on this platform. Obviously, of course, we use some, we don't develop LLMs, right? We connect to LLMs and things like that, or we don't develop the vector database, but all the platform itself is fully developed at CTERA. All the brain of the system is using our code. The ability to fetch the data from edge locations, understanding the permissions, be aware of the real-time changes is something that we are doing it for so many years on the global file system. So we apply the same technology also on the intelligence data platform.
Excellent. And for me, again, obviously, well, people don't know, CTERA has a very established partner channel, including some big names, the likes of Hitachi, HPE, that's Hewlett Packard Enterprise, IBM, Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services, and it goes on. CTERA data intelligence, sorry to go on about it, but it is an interesting product. It's first being offered to existing customers as part of their current deployments. But I imagine it could well be offered as a standalone product through channel partners in the future. First of all, is that correct? And if so, will other products and services in connection with Agentic AI be added by CTERA in the future?
So first of all, yes, it's correct what you just said. So we want to roll it in phases because, AI in general, and especially AI into the enterprise world is new, right? I mean, everybody knows ChatGPT and OpenAI, but when you apply it to the enterprise space, as we discussed before, there are many challenges, many things that you need to understand before actually implementing this powerful technology. So we work in phases, similar, by the way, to the waves we talked before, right? So we work in phases. Phase one, we are now offering it as an extension to all CTERA customers that already running our core technology, which is the global file system technology. And as you know, we have hundreds of large enterprise customers, global customers with hundreds of locations and petabytes of data. As you said, the platform also support other data sources. So it's not necessarily needs to be working only with the CTERA core offering. We can also grab data and fetch data from other legacy NAS solutions or any platforms like Confluence and so on. So we definitely know how to manage all data assets in the organization. And later on, we'll see how the market evolves. And then we will definitely thinking to also offer it as a standalone, not mandatorily connected to our core technology, which later on, obviously, we want everybody using our core technology, which is our global file system. So yes, we definitely see this as a strategic direction of CTERA, and we have some more roadmaps ahead of us to add more technologies and more capability to this platform.
Thanks for clarifying that, Oded. I think, David, you had a question you wanted to come in?
Yeah, kind of following up on that. So CTERA is, we talked about generally branching out from its established global file system offering to develop and sell other products and services, particularly in the data quality and AI areas. Does that mean that CTERA has to scale up its operations in the major markets it's operating in regarding key executive hires, staff numbers, and building a bigger partner channel?
Absolutely, right. I mean, our commitment is to continue and grow. In the last 2-3 years, we doubled the amount of people in the company. We hired some very key positions to run our marketing, to run our North America operation and sales. We have a new VP in Europe and some other strategic roles across the globe. So we are definitely expanding, and we see a lot of demand to our product, and we are committed to continue and support our customers and definitely expanding as well our partner ecosystem. We work mainly with partners, either strategic partners, as you said before, or local VARs, local system integrators that allows us to educate our customers, educate the market about our solution, and allows us to expand faster into different areas. So absolutely, we are growing fast, and we see a lot of growth in the market we are operating.
Excellent. And Neil, I think you want to come in with a question here.
Yeah, I think it's great to hear about the growth and the expansion. And I think from the outside looking in, it feels like CTERA is almost an important inflection point at the moment when it comes to company growth. So if you could, especially if you could pull off the product and the service expansion and everything we're talking about today. So can you give me an idea of what company growth the company is currently seeing and what you're hoping for maybe in the next year or 2 years, for example? I'm probably conscious you can't share too much, but anything you can?
Sure. I'm happy to share my vision and our vision, of course, in the company. So last year, and actually in the last few years already, we are growing fast, and we are growing around 35% year by year in the last 3 years. We are based on what we call recurring revenue, and our growth allows us to grow in different sectors and also in different continent or areas as well. So a few years ago, we decided to also expand our offering to countries like in Asia as well, like Australia, Singapore, and others. And last year, we grew more than 80% in this area, leveraging some of our strategic partners like Hitachi, for example, which are very strong over there as well. By the way, we just announced yesterday a very strategic partnership as well with Cloudian, which is one of the top object storage vendor in the industry. And so that's another angle that we see a lot of, I would say, possibilities for us to grow using our strategic partners. And Cloudian as well, leading as well some very key accounts as well in Asia Pacific. So this area as well is very important to us. Obviously, of course, North America is growing very nicely as well. And in North America, we are focusing on some key verticals. One of the key verticals that we see a lot of growth is what we call the government sector, which we grew more than 60% last year. And we have very key accounts in DoD, federal, governments, defense companies, you can name it. And we see Also very nice growth rate as well this year. We're still, did not finish 2025, but definitely we see the trend as well. A year and a half ago, we also raised $80 million from one of the biggest private equity companies, sorry, the VCs in the company in the States, called PSG. We raised $80 million, which basically allows us to accelerate our expansion, especially specific around AI, as we talked about the intelligence data platform. So we invest a lot on the AI development, but also on the cyber storage element as well. We are leading this space as well, and we have very good capabilities to protect about cyber attacks like ransomware using AI technology and some other technologies that we have built in the system. Looking ahead, obviously, the enterprise AI adoption is one of the key elements for us to grow, which is, by the way, as I said before, it's not just the core offering of the data intelligence platform. It's what we call the data fabric for AI, right? We are providing the ability to move the data from other locations and move it very fast, super secure to your data lake, and then analyze it either using our platform or using third-party solutions. And that's exactly where we see the growth in the company. So yes, I think we are in a very good place. The market is moving fast. Our company is growing fast. We have very important partners that are helping us to get to these results. As I said earlier, we just launched another partnership with Cloudian, but we definitely have some other strategic partners like the hyperscalers, Microsoft, Amazon, and of course the other object storage like the IBM, Scality, HP, and so on. First of all, CTERA allows our customers to buy either the solution fully on-prem, but we also have a managed service that is already available, which customer can buy, and we have already very nice and very large customers using this offering. So the answer is yes. Also, this year, if you look in the marketplaces, we launched our offering through Azure Marketplace and Amazon Marketplace as well. Just I think we did it like 2 weeks ago even in the Amazon Marketplace. And we closed this year already very, very, very large deals using the Azure Marketplace. So yes, we definitely see this as another way for us to grow and provide a total solution. And last thing is that we also offer a new service that we call CTERA Insight, which is an analytic service. It's a SaaS service that allows our customers to connect to, send all the logs, either the audit logs or the file system logs, and we allow them to, and we analyze these logs and present dashboards and logs to the company to understand what's going on in their network.
So Oded, an additional question from me. With linked to all this growth you were talking about and investment, an obvious question would be: have you and your fellow C-suite thought about a roadmap for a potentially initial public offering, becoming a public company? Is that something what is possible?
Everything is possible, I learned during these 17 years, right? I think that especially when I became the CEO of the company, my focus is make sure that the company is growing, we innovate, and we provide the best solution to our customers. That's what we do on a daily basis. And I must say we have an amazing management team that's working with me more than 10 years now in average, and that's our focus. I don't know what the future will look like, but we don't rule out anything, and we will again focus on our growth and our profitability and provide the best solution to our customers.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair enough. I mean, people used to talk about, didn't they, whether it's the right time, but no one can really work out when the right time is these days. But things change very quickly, don't they? But I'll accept what you're saying there. Yeah. You've answered a lot of questions there, Oded. I'm just wondering when my colleagues have got anything else to ask they'd like you address. David, does anything come to mind?
No, the only thing I would kind of throw out there, just in your previous answer, when we were talking about AI and the government, just from my own knowledge, has there been any kind of pushback, or what's been the adoption of AI with government agencies? Have they, asked a lot of questions, or is it just they're moving full steam ahead?
So actually, this vertical is moving the fastest that we saw up until now. So we are in discussion at least with probably 5 to 10, departments inside the government, and we already started like a few POCs there. So the answer is yes, they are looking for a solution. They understand that the current offering that is available is good, but not for them, probably because of the data that they manage and the scale that they need as well, right? And they definitely see CTERA as a very interesting solution because of the things that I mentioned before, like the privacy, security, and things like that. And yes, I see big movement over there. And I think that next year you'll see more and more agencies deploying this type of solutions.
Neil, did you want to come back with anything? Has anything come to mind which we may have left out?
I think that figure that you mentioned there, 60% growth in the government sector there. And I'm just kind of curious, what's driving that growth? Is it the public sector trying to catch up with the private sector, not get left behind? Or is there something else driving this design?
I think it's a combination, right? I think that first of all, more and more government understand that they need to move to a hybrid cloud environment, right? And in the past, it was all about, no, I need to have a closed garden. No, I can't move the data to object storage. There are a lot of no. Now, which they understand that the market and the world, in a way, is changing on a daily basis, they need to be more, in a way, open and innovative, but not compromise on their security, right? That's the big thing, right? And I think actually CTERA, in a way, allow them to move to a cloud offering, in a way, right? It can be hybrid, it can be on-prem, but also not compromise on their security. And that's what we see today. And that's why I think that the government and other public sector are adopting this type of technology, because we're actually solving their main problems, but allows them to also innovate and open themselves to new technologies.
Right. We asked a lot of questions there, Oded, and obviously you know your company better than we do. Is there anything important you want to add to what you've already said, which can help people in the process of managing their data storage better and their information assets and linked to AI, for example? Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, definitely. First of all, again, I really want to say a big thank you for this opportunity. I think this is very important for us to explain what we do, and thank you for your time as well. So, I think I mentioned all the important things already, but I really want to emphasize a few things. We've been working with the largest enterprise customers in the world. And, like 10 years ago, when we talked to a company, they said, oh, we have a lot of data. We have 100 terabytes. We have 500 terabytes. Guess what? Now 100 or 500 terabytes is not really big, right? It's very low. We're dealing with petabytes of data. And I think once the data is growing and unstructured data specifically is growing, right? It creates a lot of challenges to these type of organizations, from security, from scale, from performance, from accessibility, from a collaboration and workforce productivity. And that everybody has these type of challenges. We're talking to thousands of companies all the time. And I think that people sometimes afraid to modernize, or not afraid, I'm not sure afraid is the right word, but looking to continue in the way that they know how to use their technology, right? And I think that today the market is evolving, the amount of data is growing, and the technology is really moving super fast, especially now with the AI. And our solution really allows you, in one hand, to keep the way that you used to work with the permissions and the network shares and the same workflows, and nothing changed from a daily basis perspective. But our solution is really allowing you to start adopting the new technology, starting from moving the data fast and moving the data to the cloud. And then on top of it, of course, to implement all the AI technologies that is coming and will help a lot to these enterprises to grow faster, be more efficient, and reduce their cost. So that's all. That's in essence what CTERA does, and we are committed, as I said before, to continue and support our customers and our partners, and to be the most innovative company in this market, as the analyst says, in the last 5 years.
Great. Thanks, Oded. Thanks for your time. Hopefully the audience got a good insight as to how an executive in a major cloud data storage company sees the evolving market, and as we head towards the take-up of AI. We're very receptive to your opinions, Oded, and it's always good to actually drill down in these sorts of things. So all it remains now is to say goodbye until next time, when we produce our next Across the Tech Pond. But we hope you've enjoyed this one. So it's goodbye from me, Anthony Savas, and it's goodbye from David. Over to you.
Yep. Again, David Marshall. Oded, we appreciate your insights today, truly valuable. And I invite folks to check out our other articles and podcasts on CTERA on our individual platforms. And definitely looking forward to our next edition of Across the Tech Pond.
Neil?
Yeah, and I'd just like to echo everything everyone said here. And so many big things that I learned today from that partnership with Cloudin, the 60% increase in government sector work there. So just wish you the best of luck for next year. And a big thank you to everyone for watching.
Oded?
Thank you again. Thank you, David. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Anthony. It's always a pleasure to talk and to meet. And again, thank you for the opportunity to explain what CTERA does, right? And we are really, really happy to give the best service to our customers. So really, we are continue to commit and to provide the best support, best product in the industry. And again, goodbye and see you next time.
Thanks very much.